So a little while back, I promised to make a video on an interior detailing starter kit, and this is sort of a part 2 to my exterior wash kit that I made a little while back. And if you haven't seen that already, then I will pop a link to that in the description so you can have a watch of that after this one. But what I'm going to be doing here is taking you through all my essential interior detailing products and sort of a basic kit that I think you can get really good results with. So what I have tried to do is kind of keep budget in mind, not make this kit super expensive, so I've thought a little bit more about sort of equipment and accessories and also chemicals too that I'm recommended, so you don't have to buy a ton of products. But I am also going to be giving some kind of recommendations on some upgrades you can get if your budget's a little bit bigger, you have a bit more money to play with, and you want to get some products that are going to help make your interior detailing process a bit more efficient and a bit more effective. So I'm going to start off with a big piece of equipment that I would consider absolutely essential, and that is, of course, a vacuum. Now, I own a Henry HVR 160, which isn't the most expensive vacuum in the world, but it does a cracking job, and it's just miles better than the cordless ones you might be using for your home. You're looking at about £130 to £150 in the UK for this vacuum, so not stupidly expensive, but not super cheap either. However, I am very happy that I've invested in this, as it does make my life a lot easier when it comes to tackling those dirtier interiors. If you are looking for something a little bit cheaper, then take a look at a Screwfix Titan. I haven't got one personally, but I have heard good things about them, and they do come in quite a bit cheaper than the Henry vacuums. So next up, jumping into the chemical that I would recommend, and I've got one here that does pretty much the whole interior except for the leather surfaces, and that is the Garage Therapy Interior Cleaner. What I love about this product is that it can be diluted, which means that you don't have to buy a ton of chemical to actually get a lot of use out of it. So a 1:20 dilution is perfect for those kind of weekly wipe downs if you're keeping on top of your interior. But if you're dealing with anything particularly grotty, then increasing that to say 1:5 is going to be absolutely perfect, and there's not much that this product can't do at that ratio. If you do go ahead and get a dilutable interior cleaner like this, then you are of course going to need a spray bottle to mix that up in. You've got options here, so you can jump on eBay or Amazon, get a set of a few and usually pick them up for less than a tenner, or you can get something a little bit nicer. So I've got an IK Mini 360. So the benefit here is you can spray it in any direction no matter how much product is left in the bottle. However, they of course are a little bit more expensive, so it just depends on whether you want to pay for that. If you are at this point though thinking, I don't want to mess about diluting products, you just want one chemical, you can grab out your cabinet and spray and get going, then something like Stjarnagoth Ini is a great option. This is a ready to use product, so it's not really recommended to dilute it down, but it is very capable, and if I haven't got an interior cleaner already mixed up, then it is something that I can just grab and go. Now, in terms of the accessories that you can actually use to clean the interior and pair with one of those chemicals, first got a microfibre towel. Absolutely essential, great for just wiping down surfaces or wiping up residue if you're using a brush maybe to agitate surfaces. You can use this to mop it up at the end. This one is an Edgeless 365 by the Rag Company. It's not too plush and sort of thick, so it's not going to leave a load of fibres all over your interior, and it is just good for those wipe downs. You don't have to pick anything too premium here. I wouldn't spend a ton on your sort of general purpose microfibre towels for the interior, so just pick up a pack of 10 and you're probably going to be set to go. I would recommend though picking up a second type of microfibre towel that I think is really good for more delicate surfaces. So here I've got an Eagle 500 from the Rag Company. This is a much plusher and thicker towel, and it's great for things like piano black trim that just scratch if you look at them. This is perfect as it's really soft and delicate, so isn't going to mar or scratch those kind of finishes. It's also great to maybe get a couple of colours of these so you can separate them for different tasks. I like to use one colour for the interior delicate surfaces, and then I like to use a second one for wiping down door shuts. Next up, I would recommend getting a couple of different types of brushes. So I've got here two to choose from. And I've got this one, which is a Carbon Collective brush. This is a firmer style brush, and it's great for agitating areas which require a little bit more force. And I also have this one, which is a Detail Factory one. This is an ultra soft brush, and although it doesn't provide sort of much agitation, what it's great for is just interior dusting. So if you keep on top of your interior, using something like this on the vents every week, a couple of weeks, is going to keep your interior really nice and fresh. And it's great for getting into those intricate areas. I also now have probably my favourite interior detailing tool, and that is one of these. So this is an inter-detailing scrub pad. A few different brands do these. The premise of them is pretty similar. You've got one side that's just microfibre, and this side which has these really short sort of bristles that are great for providing really good scrubbing power. They still are relatively soft, so I have used these on leather. I just wouldn't recommend putting a load of pressure on there, as that's going to maybe affect the clear coat that's on the leather. So just being nice and gentle there. But what I do absolutely love these for is cleaning hard plastics that just have quite a lot of ingrained dirt, maybe the textured plastics. as these are much better than using a microfibre towel that usually doesn't get into all those grooves, and it's much faster than using a detailing brush. Now next up, onto glass cleaning, and I would really recommend picking up an automotive glass cleaner as opposed to a household product, as some of those do contain ammonia, which isn't good for the tints that are on the windows, so I'd definitely recommend getting an automotive one. One that I really like is the Yum Cars glass cleaner. Great for leaving that streak-free finish, has a decent flash time and you're not going to have any trouble with this. What I find though to be actually the most important aspect of cleaning glass, more than the cleaner itself, is the towel that you use. So using something sort of super plush like the Eagle 500 that I mentioned previously is a disaster on glass. It's going to lint all over that surface and you're going to get tiny little fibres that are going to be very noticeable in the sun. So what I'd recommend is picking up a lint-free glass towel. One of my favourites is this FTW towel. This is absolutely perfect. It has a twist loop style, which doesn't leave any fibres whatsoever, and it also has plenty of bite to it, so it's great for removing any streaks or stains, and it buffs to a perfectly crystal clear finish. I've got a few extra chemicals as well that I would recommend if you're going to be dealing with cars that have interior leather. A lot of cars have leather steering wheels, so this will apply to you as well, even if you've got fabric seats. But I do recommend picking up some dedicated products for those, as leather is a more sensitive surface. Even though it has a clear coat on top, you've got to be careful to keep that intact and in good condition. So what I would recommend picking up is something like the Geist Leather Plus kit. So this will depend a little bit on the age of your vehicle. If you are dealing with a car that's over 3 years old, you're going to want to go with the 3 Plus kit. However, if your car's a little bit younger, the 3 Minus kit is fine. Now the difference between those two kits is that the Plus kit has an extra product in there, so that has a leather conditioner. And the reason being is that when the leather gets a little bit older, sort of that 3-year mark on average mileage, that clear coat that I mentioned previously can start to wear away. So applying a product that's going to soak into the leather is beneficial. If, however, you're dealing with a new car, that clear coat is going to be lovely and intact, and putting a conditioner is going to do nothing, it's just going to sit on top of that surface. So what this kit comes with is a cleaner, obviously the conditioner, whether you pick the Plus or the Minus, and then also a third product, which is a dye and friction blocker. This is perfect no matter what the age of the vehicle is, as it's going to sit on top and help reduce wear and tear from things like dye, friction, spillages, UV and things like that. So really beneficial products to have. The kit is great because it does come with those extra accessories that you're going to need, like the leather brush, a couple of cloths and a couple of sponge applicators too. So if you're starting from scratch, looking at a kit is a great option as you're going to save a little bit of money there too. Now you can absolutely get cracking results using just the products that I've mentioned. However, what I want to talk about now is some upgrades I think you can make if you are looking to get a little bit better results on maybe interiors that are more neglected. So first up on the list is a steam cleaner. I personally use the Karcher SC3 steam cleaner. I've got a separate review on that, and I've got a separate review on quite a lot of the sort of equipment that I've mentioned and I'm going to mention in this video, so I'll pop links to all those in the description if you are looking to purchase them and get a little bit more information. But the steam cleaner is absolutely brilliant, it's really versatile. You can use it on hard and soft interior surfaces. It's great for sort of refreshing fabrics when you don't want to use extraction, and it's also great for dealing with more stubborn residues. The second piece of equipment that I would also recommend picking up if you have a bit more budget to play with is an extractor of some kind. If you are just starting out, then the Vax Spot Wash, and actually the base model, which is the one that I purchased, is a cracking option to go for. It's really not that expensive. You can usually pick it up for around £100, and it's great for deep cleaning fabrics that are either on the mats or the seats. And there are some interiors in particular where that extraction is just really essential and the seats aren't just going to look very good without it. So if you're maybe going to be doing this professionally, or you're dealing with friends and family's vehicles that are in a really tired way, having something on hand like this is pretty much essential in my opinion. A couple of extra accessories as well that I would recommend picking up are these drill brushes, and I just got a set of these from Amazon. I like the white ones as they tend to have the softer bristles. You don't need something sort of too aggressive on these interior surfaces, you don't want to be causing any damage. But there are a couple of different sort of shapes of these, so I've got this one here, which is perfect for dealing with carpets which have a lot of ingrained sort of pet hair, sand, things like that, as it just agitates the fibres and kicks that sort of debris up so it can be more easily vacuumed. Sometimes my vacuum on its own just can't cope. Also, something like this, which is the flatter style, is great for agitating cleaners in the mats or in the seats. So I pair this often with the Vax Spot Wash, as it really helps to give those surfaces a much deeper clean. Finally, if you know you're going to be dealing with pet hair quite often, then something like this, which is a pet hair rake, is absolutely perfect. I was a little bit sort of unsure about these when I first saw them. I thought, do you really need them? But now I've tried it, I kind of wouldn't be without it. For some interiors in particular, it's just great at gathering up all that pet hair really quickly, so it can be vacuumed from just one spot rather than going and spending ages vacuuming the vehicle and trying to get that stubborn pet hair out. So as I said at the start of the video, I do have an exterior wash kit as well. So if you are interested in that video, then I will pop a link somewhere on the screen so you can check that out. If you have enjoyed this video though, it'd be brilliant if you could drop it a like, and thanks very much for watching.